Welcome to another episode of Solar How. If you're planning to buy solar battery in Nigeria, don't waste your money like I always did. Watch this video till the end because I will save you money and regret. In this video, I will share I wish I knew before buying my sets of solar deep cycle batteries in Nigeria, starting from the lifespan to fake ratings and to the maintenance tip. Please, I would like you to watch this video till the very end. It will help you to make a definite choice that will help you and you will be happy you made in the long run. First and foremost, I will start by telling you the kind of battery I use. The battery I use is a tubular battery. That's the kind of battery I use. But if I knew what I knew now, I could have just simply bought a lithium battery. But I will tell you the reason, because lithium battery and tubular battery at a point, they are almost always the same price. But because I was a beginner then, I didn't really know the difference between lithium and tubular. And it's not like a lithium, yeah, aside the life cycle, lithium is superb. But as a beginner, I would simply say that it's always good to start with tubular battery. Why? Is because lithium has this, in as much as it can hold power for long, in as much as the life cycle is quite much more longer than that of tubular per se. But it's far more, from what I have seen, others that are using it, and with this, the things I have noticed, is quite much more technical compared to tubular battery. And second is that it's far more riskier to use lithium battery wrongly than if you're using tubular battery as a beginner. The reason why I chose tubular battery is because as a beginner, I was not exposed. My knowledge, I have limited knowledge about how these things works. I have limited knowledge about how solar battery works. To me, I was seeing it like the way I see other car batteries and the rest of them all. I was not even knowing that there's a difference, the technology in between lithium, tubular, AGM, SMF, and gel. I never knew about all those technologies behind. So I chose tubular because I felt like that's what I have been seeing for in certain kind of installations. So I felt like that's the best kind of battery to use. Another thing is that for beginners, now that I have started using the solar battery, I now discover that for beginners, it's actually very good for you to start with tubular battery. Why? Is because it's kind of straightforward. If it's not charging properly, it's straightforward. Either you're overcharging it, or maybe your ampage is higher, or that the liquid, that's the distilled water, is getting low. So the maintenance is more like it's just is beginner friendly in terms of usage. The maintenance is more like clean up the negative and positive terminals, grease it with the specific grease that they recommended, then top up the distilled water to the appropriate level where it should be, and your battery will continue serving you. But comparing it to that of a lithium, yes, in as much as lithium batteries are maintenance free, they are not actually maintenance free, if I must tell you, or if I must say, because lithium batteries, for me, I would simply say that these are batteries meant for industrial use. That's one. Then secondly is that overcharging them, yes, they have what is called BMS, which means battery monitoring system. But sometimes you shouldn't be relying fully on that BMS, because these are electrical components. Anything can happen, they can even fail. So in order to use lithium is something that you can't actually be using with your two eyes closed as a beginner. Okay, and if you're using lithium, you have to always be technologically inclined, in the sense that you should know a bit. By the time you're using lithium, you're expected to know a bit more about how solar system works, how to set them properly, how to do a lot of things, because even the lithium battery has its own separate settings apart from the inverter. Okay, so you really need to know how to do the settings properly in case if there is any issue and your installer is not readily available to assist you in doing the proper setting, or your consultant. Because like in my previous video, which I will also attach the link in my description, I emphasized mainly on getting a solar consultant. I won't say much about why you should get solar consultant in this video. If you really want to know why you should get a solar consultant, you you can watch my previous video where I mentioned the 5 mistakes I made while installing my first solar system in Nigeria. That you will know the exact reason why I said you should get a solar consultant. At my level of knowledge in solar systems today, if I'm now to choose, I will simply suggest that I can now have the knowledge, the capacity in knowledge to upgrade my system to that of lithium battery. But I cannot say the same for a beginner solar user. If you're a solar user, please start with tubular battery. Probably start with a 24-volt system like I did. 24-volt system and 48-volt system is quite much more the same almost. Okay, 48-volt system and above that, like 72-volt system, are for factories. So long as you're running a home, 24-volt system can actually carry you. You can actually rely fully on 24-volt system. All you just need to do is install the maximum number of panels and install good battery, and it will serve you. Like me, I'm using a 24-volt tubular battery currently in series, and their ampage is 240 amp hour, so it's quite serving me. And if I want to upgrade that same tubular, let's assume I don't feel like it's still going over to lithium and I want to upgrade my tubular battery, I can simply still buy 2 more tubular batteries and attach it to the ones I have already, making it 480 amp hours in that same, in another series. I'm paralleling the 2 series to join up the ampage now to make it 480 amp hours, and that's actually 5,000 kilowatt hour from the battery, which will actually carry, it will simply carry almost everything I use in my house, because almost everything I use in my house have been converted to the solar versions of it. My fridge does not consume much. My smart TVs, I have 3 smart TVs, they are not consuming much. I have my lighting points, like this one here, my chandelier, and every other, both exterior and interior lighting points, they are always on. Those ones don't consume anything. So what I don't use in this system currently is, I don't use pumping machine, I don't use ions. I use my clipper. Recently, I never knew clipper does not consume much in solar system, and it's only when I started using solar system that I even started noticing the appliances that actually consumes electrical power. That's the benefit of using solar system. The moment you start using solar system, you start noticing those appliances that actually consumes power in your house. So I now discovered that even electric clipper is just about, most of them are just between 5 watts to 10 watts. I have not seen anyone that is beyond 10 watts. Okay, let alone these are the new technology versions that are battery charged. So these rechargeable are just perfect. Then handheld dryer. These are things that it's like, but I think handheld dryer is about 25 watts. It doesn't even consume much. What consumes in solar system is actually what I don't use in my solar system. All my fans. Okay, now I'm talking about fans. Standing fans, depending. There are some standing fans that are built specifically for solar systems. There are some standing fans that their wattage is about 85, from 50 to 85%. Those fans are not meant to be, in the daytime, yeah, you can turn on all those kind of fans, but at night, they consume a whole lot of energy, because continuously rotating those fans from your battery all through the night. And you have your fridge running all through the night, and let's assume you didn't tune your fridge to regulate the thermostat. Okay, so you didn't set your thermostat to turn off anytime it freezes, and your fridge is constantly running. Okay, and you have all your fans being turned on. Your battery at night cannot withstand that level of consumption, and that's exactly what I'm experiencing currently. And the reason why, if I should go for lithium battery, I will consider going for maybe 3,000 kilowatts or 4,000 kilowatts. But the thing is that if I'm to run my fans continuously till the next morning with the fridge as well, my solar battery might not actually get me to the next morning without hitting the 50% DOD. That's depth of discharge. Most of the time, if I leave everything on mistakenly, I always hit the depth of discharge. But if I turn down some of the fans and turn down some of the bulbs in my house, leaving only the fridge being set to the minimum thermostat control, my battery, not minding so far that it is charged up to 80%, being a tubular battery, it will still get me to the next morning comfortably without hitting the DOD, which is depth of discharge. So that's another thing. And another thing I have discovered is that the extended life cycle of tubular batteries, I never knew this before. Yeah, tubular battery can last for a really long time, but you expect some kind of loss of power as from 5 years of using it, or thereabout, yeah, 5 or 6 years of using it, according to what I have discovered. And but in terms of that of lithium batteries, they don't actually, the cells are individual cells, so they can actually last for up to 20 years. Okay, let's assume and they can last for up to 20 years actually. So their life cycle is quite much more higher than that of tubular. And even if a tubular battery starts developing an issue, it means that you're going to be saving money to buy another set of tubular batteries. But that's not the same with that, buying another set of tubular batteries is quite expensive compared to replacing cells that are dead due to maybe a life cycle in that of lithium batteries. All the cells don't die at the same time, and it's very much more economical to simply replace cells in lithium batteries than buying another full set of tubular battery. Lithium batteries, even if when they start dying, you can still manage them, and you save up some money and start replacing the internal cells. And it's very, very technically advantageous in the sense that you are not buying a full set of battery system again. You are only replacing the cells that are dead, and they are quite cheap on the ampage. Okay, and you simply replace them according to how many that are weak. Okay, you can even upgrade the lithium battery pack from what it is to another level of ampage by simply replacing the internal cells by yourself. You can do that. So, but if you are not tech savvy, please don't try that. If you're using lithium battery, it's very, very dangerous, especially when you don't know what you're doing. Always have a consultant by your side whenever you wish to upgrade, downgrade, or service your system at all. It's very necessary. Okay, I know you might be asking, what are the signs of battery failure? Most of the time, although I have not had battery failure so far since I've been using my own battery and my solar system, but for other ones I've noticed, it starts by, if it's a tubular battery, you start noticing that your battery does not last as it used to. But generally, both lithium and tubular, the moment anything battery starts having failure, the moment it starts failing, the number of hours you used to carry those certain number of loads will decrease. It will keep depreciating, and those number of hours that it can carry those loads will keep getting lower. Why? Is because the energy and the power that it's using to carry those loads are no longer up to the power band that it can use to carry those things. But there's a different case between tubular and that of lithium. If it's on lithium, if you notice that the battery is no longer powering most of the things in off-grid, especially when there's no sunlight anymore, mostly at night or cloudy days, I will not simply say or conclude that your battery, don't just conclude that your battery is faulty or maybe it's failing. No, sometimes the maintenance of tubular battery has to do with what is called equalization. When most of the time, tubular battery, if I must tell you, unless it has got, if it has reached expected lifespan of up to 5 to 6 years, if it's still a new battery that's maybe still within 2 or 3 years, I will simply not say that it's a battery failure. First and foremost, the first step to take is check the battery gravity, check the water level, and I will always advise that if your battery stays up to 6 months, every 6 months, and by any means you notice that your battery is no longer sustaining the kind of load you used to sustain when you bought it new, get a consultant that will help you to equalize your battery. If it's tubular battery, there's what they call equalization in batteries, and tubular batteries need it, especially those ones that are connected in series. They need it because sometimes you figure out, if you check them with ammeter, you will notice that it's about different in between the two batteries. Okay, so you need to check and balance these batteries in the same range of power. If it's in parallel don't really have most of these issues because the parallel connection helps in balancing the two. But in series, it's either that one is giving off much more power than the other. So you always need to have a balancer. You understand? To balance out your battery so that equalize them, because equalization in tubular battery are more like the water inside, when those cathodes are being coated by white substances that comes out from the electrons. When they are being coated, they might not actually be getting the electrons from the water that much. The bubble clogging on those cathodes will block off the effect of electrons that comes from the distilled water that is already inside the battery. So Qualification is like using electricity to heat up those cathodes to remove those white bubbles. You can do it by yourself, but as a beginner I will tell you, don't try this on your own, because you can actually damage that battery instantly. This also can be done in lithium battery. If you wish to choose a very nice battery, or maybe have a maintenance process you feel like is necessary for your battery, I offer solar coaching and some sketches. So you feel free to consult me anytime. I've given you everything that you need to know about choosing your battery and how to choose them. And please, as a beginner, I will tell you the honest truth. Choose a good battery from a good brand, mostly Indian products. Mostly Indian product, but mind you, it's not every Indian product that is real Indian product. Our dealers can actually go there and change up things. So please, make sure you are buying real Indian products. I personally use Orex right now, Orex Tubular batteries. They are quite good. They have been serving me. I've not had any issue with them. So, but for your own specification, I want every system comes with its own specific battery target. So you can consult me anytime, and I will help you to choose a perfect battery according to ampage that will serve you. If you're just coming to my channel for the first time, please like this video and subscribe, so that you always be getting notification anytime I post new episodes.